Shalom Akim. Today's lesson we're gonna go into how to change the tenses. In the Hebrew, you have three tenses. You have the present tense, you have the past tense, and you have the future tense. Today we're gonna be dealing with the present tense, and we're gonna go through some examples to show you how to change, the tense. In other words, the main word we're gonna be using today is the word shamar, which means watch, and we're gonna show you how to change that to the present. As an action of you doing it at this moment. All right. So up here you see how to change tenses, and this is actually in the Hebrew booklet. So you brothers, once you get this lesson, if you want to, go over it more, you can use the booklet and use this as a reference and go back and forth until you get it. This is a little bit more advanced, and I just wanted to touch on, I had mentioned I wanted to go through the whole booklet and break it down to you brothers, so that way you'll have it, and then I can get back to going through some more of the reading the Hebrew and other stuff that we can get into. Alright, so the first thing is how to change tenses. The first tense we're going to deal with, like I said, is a present tense. The word hawa means present. Alright, the word hawa is present. Now we're going to deal with I. This is in the first person. So I, male, in order to construct this sentence, or to make it present tense for watch, you would add a wa between the first and the second letters. Alright, and I'm gonna give you an example here so you could see what I mean by that. So it says I am watching. This is only for male. Anya shawamar. Okay, Anya is I, Shawamar is watching. But now when you come down here, the word shamar, as you see here, shamar is watch. And then using this formula here, add a wa. Let me bring this up a little bit more. Add a wa between the first and the second letters, right? And that would put the ing at the end. So you have here shamar, which is watch, and you have here shawamar. So between the first and the second letter, you would add the wa, and that would make it shawamar, which would mean watching. So it went from shamar to watch to shawamar, watching. So this is the actual present tense. That's how you would say present tense, and then you would use the same formula for every word that you would want to make present tense. Alright, so that's the first one. Anya shawamar, I watching. You add the wa between the first and the second Hebrew letters, and that will change the tense from just a regular word to a present tense, or to an action, adding ing at the end of the word. Alright, and if you brothers have any questions, you can feel free to leave a comment. Alright, now this is I, but this is for female. Alright, female only. Alright, add a wa between the first and the second letters, which is the same as above, and a ha at the end of basically at the end of the word. And I'll give you an example. I am watching, feminine. Anya shawamara. Anya is I, shawamara is watching in the feminine tense. The word shamar is watch, right? Shawamara is watching. I didn't write that down. Is watching, alright? And this is the feminine way of saying it. Because remember, the formula was what? You add a wa between the first and the second letter, which we did. You had the wa between the first and the second letter, right? And then it says you and a ha at the end of the word. Why? To signify it feminine, because the ha at the end of the word makes it feminine. Alright, so shawamara is watching, feminine. When you come back up here, shawamar is masculine. Alright, that's masculine, has the same formula, but it doesn't have the ha at the end. The feminine, shawamara, that's the way you say it in the feminine tense. You will add the wa between the first and the second letters and add a ha at the end to make it feminine. Shawamara. Okay? That's the second example. Alright, the third one is you, male. It's the same as above. In other words, when I put same as above, I mean you put the wa between the first and the second Hebrew letters, or the first and second Hebrew characters. So this is how you would say you watching. Alright, it says Atha Shawamar. That would be you watching. Atha is you, Shawamar is watching. Now before I continue on, I just want to go back up here. Okay, I got it here. I am watching. Alright. Then for the feminine, that was for the feminine, and for the masculine is the same thing. I am watching. Alright. Now this one here is you are watching. Alright. You are watching. Alright. Just bear with me 1 second. Or basically you watching. Alright, but this is for the male. Atha Shawamar. Atha is you. Shawamar is watching. Shamar, once again, is watch. You add the wa between the first and the second Hebrew characters, and you get Shawamar, which is watching. It's just like adding an ing at the end of the word. Alright? Now, the next one is you, feminine. Same as above, meaning you add the wa between the first and the second Hebrew characters, plus add a ha at the end of the word. Why? To make it feminine. Atha Shawamara. Atha is you. Shawamara is watching. Shamar. Shamar is to watch. You add the wa between the first and the second letter and a ha at the end to make it feminine. Shawamara. Watching. You watching. Feminine. Alright. Shawamara. Alright. Now the next one is he. It's the same as above, meaning you put the wa between the first and the second Hebrew characters, and it would be hawa'a shawamar. The word hawa'a is he or it. So he watching would be hawa'a shawamara. I'm sorry, hawa'a shawamar. Hawa'a is he or it. Shawamar is watching. Shamar, once again, Shamar, watch. You add the wa between the first and the second letter, Shawamar, which will add an ing at the end of the word. Shawamar, watching. Alright? Alright, the next one is she. This is the feminine way. So she watching would be the same as above. In other words, you add the wa between the first and the second letters, plus you add a ha at the end. Now this particular, the present tense is pretty easy, you know, because it's not too much that changes. You know, when you get to the past and the present, I mean in the future tense, you know, I have to add a few extra letters here and there, but the present is pretty much the same, straightforward for each one. You just have to make sure that whenever you add in the wa, you got to distinguish whether it's male or female, and then you got to distinguish whether it's plural or not. Okay, singular or plural. Alright? So it says she, the same as above, add the wa between the first and the second letter, then you add a ha at the end, basically to make it feminine. Haya'a shawamara. Haya'a is she. Shawamara is watching. Here you go again. Shamar is watch. You add the wa between the first and the second letter, and you add the ha at the end. Shawamara. Shawamara is watching. Okay? That's how you say. That's how you would say it for the feminine. All right. She watching is haya'a shawamara. She watching. All right. The next one is we. Alright, I got here male plus female because we is all, you know, it could be talking about a group of males, it could be talking about a group of females, or it could be talking about a group of male and female. So whichever way it is, you know, when you're dealing with the we is usually kept in the in the masculine form. You know, because it could be a combination of anything. You know, so we, male plus female, which is also plural, it's the same as above, meaning you add the wa between the first and the second Hebrew characters, and then you add a yum at the end of the word to make it plural. Alright, so we watching would be anach nawa shawamaryam. Anach nawa is we, shawamaryam is watching. Okay, I got it here for you again. Shamar, which is watch. You add the wa between the first and the second Hebrew characters, and a yum at the end to make it masculine. So shawamayim would be watching. All right, in the present tense. So this would be like adding an this would be like adding the ing at the end of a word. This wa between the first and the second letter, and the yum at the end would be as you making it plural because you're speaking about more than one person. All right. So we watching anachnawa shawamaryam. Anachnawa is we. Shawamaryam is watching. And you got it right there. All right. And then afterwards you brothers can pause this, and take notes, and get a better idea. I'm just kind of going through it so you can have an idea of how it, because if you just look at it in the book form, you might get confused. So if you have at least an explanation, then that way you can go back and read the book and read and see the explanation, and you'll be like, okay, I understand now, why this is written like that. All right, the next one is you, male plural. This is male plural only. Same as above, meaning you add the wa between the first and the second letter, plus you add a yum at the end of the word to make it plural, because this is you, but it's male plural. All right, so the way you say you watching would be a thumb shawamaryam. A thumb is you, male plural. Shawamaryam is watching. You got to hear again. Shamar is to watch. You add the wa between the first and the second letter, and then you add the yum at the end to make it plural. Shawamaryam is watching. All right, so a thumb shawamaryam is you watching, male plural. All right, the next one is you, female plural. It's the same as above. Add the wa between the first and the second letter, plus add a wath at the end of the word. This signifies feminine plural. All right, yum is male plural, wath is feminine plural. So you watching feminine plural would be athan shawamarwath. Athan is you, feminine plural. Remember the masculine had a ma at the end, a thumb. The feminine or the female has a na at the end, a thun. All right, a thun shawamarwath. A thun is you, feminine plural. As you see here, shamar is watch. And then, hold up, I skipped something here. All right, sha wa mar wath would be watching. This would be watching in the plural sense. All right, feminine. All right, so now let me go through that again. A thun shawamarwath, you watching, meaning you, feminine plural, watching. And I have it here written for you. Again, shamar is watch. You add the wa between the first and the second letter, and a wath at the end to make it feminine plural. Shawamarwath. Shawamar wath. All right, which is watching, feminine plural. All right. Now, like I said, it may seem a little confusing. Just all you gotta do is just go back and watch it, read the booklet, and compare it, and you'll see that all you gotta do is add these letters, particular letters within the word, and you can change the tense to a present tense, which you add ing at the end. All right, and in everything that you do, as far as the Hebrew is concerned, you have to make sure that the gender, it matches the gender, whether it's male or female, and it matches whether it's singular or plural. That's very important, once you got those two, you're good to go. All right, the next one is they, male plural. It's the same as above, meaning you add the y between the first and the second letter, and you add a yum at the end. See, so it's pretty much repetitious. It's just a matter of putting the right words, in the right place. All right. So they, male plural, is hum shawamaryam. Hum is they. Shawamaryam is watching, plural, masculine. Shamar is the watch. Shawamaryam Shawamariyam is watching. See, you had the wa. That's why I made these red, because these are the ones that you add. These are the letters that you add. The wa goes between the first and the second letter, and then the yum at the end makes it plural. So watching, plural, male, plural masculine. Alright? Once again, hum, shawamariyam, they watching, masculine plural. Alright? Now remember, the male had the ma at the end. So here it says they, female plural. It's the same as above. You brothers got it by now. The wa between the first and the second letter. And you add a wath at the end to make it plural, but to make it plural in a feminine sense. Alright? That's why you have that. So they watching is hun. They watching female plural is hun shawamarwath. Remember, the male was hum. Now the female is hun. Hun shawamarwath. Hun is they, feminine plural. Shawamarwath is watching. Okay? Which is also feminine plural. Alright? Once again, we got the Hebrew word shamar, which is watch. You add the wa between the first and the second letter, and you add the wath at the end to make it feminine plural. Shawamarwath. Shawamarwath. I didn't change this. That's alright. Shawamarwath is watching, feminine plural. Han shawamarwath. They watching, feminine plural. Alright? And that's pretty much it. Like I said, you brothers can go back and and view this, and go over your notes, and Lord's will in the future I'm gonna go through the past tense and the future tense, and that pretty much covers the booklet. Once you learn the words, you go through the numbers. I believe I went through the numbers before. If not, I'll go over it again. And it's just a matter of learning the Hebrew characters, and then learning some basic words, and then you learn how to read the Torah, read the Tanakh, and then you learn how to change tenses, and that's pretty much it. But the main thing is just if you can't get into this, don't worry about it. Just main thing is just learn some of them words, learn some of the basic words, learn how to read the Torah and the Tanakh, and then eventually if you do that, you're going to want to get into stuff like this, so you can know when you read in the Hebrew, you can know, okay, well, the reason why this is there is because of this. It's present tense, it's future tense, it's past tense. So with that, I hope you brothers learned something. Like I said, if you have any comments or any questions, feel free to leave it on the comment board. I'll try to edify it, to the best of my ability. So with that, I say shalom.